it's created an environment of accountability, and especially with the small groups, it's really encouraging to have people just cheering you on for the small things that you're doing, like the goals that you're setting each week. So, yeah, really good.
Helped me to prioritise and define what areas I need to improve in my life, and to understand how to move forward with those things.
It's helped me to become more confident in asking and responding to challenging questions and challenging situations.
I've just really enjoyed all the content that I've learned each time. Like I've always come away learning something new, and I love how you split it into different like winning keys that we can just like have something like one thing a week that we can just focus on and grow in, which I really like.
I love being in the big group on Zoom each week and hearing all the win stories, because they make me go, I need to set a better goal because I want to win like that. That's it.
For me, it's been the relationships that have come out of it. Like with my group, we've all, on our WhatsApp group chat, we have a good chat sometimes about how our week's going, and I just feel so much closer to them than I did at the beginning of Win University. So it's been really, really helpful.
Helpful to get different perspectives on the things that I'm struggling with.
And no, always when you insist that there is more in us than we think, now I know that, so I can able to face my fears and know that there is more in me.
I found that all really useful, but particularly the circles, dividing your life and your personal and your professional life into different areas. You can see which area needs work on and what to prioritise, and how you've made progress to be evaluating it each week and seeing what to work on and discussing that and hearing everybody else's stories.
Welcome to the Know Your Purpose live stream event. You're so welcome. In the coming hour, I want to help you get clarity on your vision, where you're heading to, how you can go and make your highest and best contribution to society, but also to get clarity on your values, what truly matters most to you. How are these clues to you bringing the best version of yourself day in, day out that's going to enable you to become the person that your future demands? We're going to go on a journey. It's interactive. I'm going to be showing you the 6 steps, the 6 layers that we can journey through to getting clarity in these 2 crucial areas. And so I want you to have ready the webpage that is linked to my website. Below, you'll find the link at garethmorgan.tv/winning conversation. And you will be able to interact to build clarity as we make this journey together. This is an event that is leading to a journey called Winning University. So once you've got clarity on your vision, once you've got clarity on your values, it's then about immersing yourself in an environment, a conversation that's going to help you take that from an idea to a reality. And part of that is by being part of a community of people who can cheer you on along the way. So I hope you're ready. I want you to get ready to engage. We're going to begin. For the past 20 years, I've been a student of 3 particular things. And I've only understood this in recent years as I've looked back, and there's just been a pattern of clues that's helped me to realize that actually these words are part of my values, and we're going to talk about values in this session. But first of all, that's identity, who I am. Then it's impact, why I'm alive. And then thirdly, influence, how I'm going to shape and change the world around me. And throughout this session that we're going to have together, I'm hopefully going to help you to get clarity on those three things, because rooted in your identity are the clues to the change that is in you that I believe is the reason you're alive. Now, let me be upfront, because this is going out on YouTube, so there'll be people that will be watching this of all different kind of worldviews. I'm a Christian, and so my belief and my worldview, the Judeo-Christian faith, is my foundation. So where I get my principles and the source of all that I'm bringing is rooted in the Bible. But one thing I've come to understand is that while that is absolutely something that I'm not ashamed of, in fact, I'm very proud of it, and I believe it's absolutely key for life. But at the same time, it's not a barrier for you being able to get principles and understanding of who you are, the impact that you can bring, and how you can build influence. So whether you're a Christian, whether you're somebody who has a faith or no faith, I really believe that our time together, regardless of kind of the angle we're coming in from, actually can be really fruitful and beneficial. And so where you're at right now in life, I think usually comes down to one of three feelings. And I was reading John Maxwell, and he was talking about this, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, he's got an absolute point. The fact that we are either in a state of confusion, we're either in a state of frustration, or we're in a state of fulfillment. And I think which state we're in gives us some clues as to maybe what we need to do next. So confusion is usually the result of not knowing what we want. So we may actually have lots of good things around us. We may have a good job. We may have a good family. We may have a good community in which we live. But still, there's a sense in which I'm confused because I should be satisfied, but I'm not. And maybe that creates feelings of guilt, because surely I should just be content with what I've got because it's good. But still, there's a nagging doubt and there's a bit of confusion. Maybe you thought you knew what you wanted, and now you're there, you're thinking, no, this isn't it. So confusion describes maybe your current state. Secondly, frustration. So frustration, that sense in which you enter into most days and finish most days frustrated with yourself and frustrated with your current circumstances. And this is usually down to the fact that we know what we want, but actually our actions don't match our intentions. So we know what we want, we know what we've got to do, but we just don't do it. And because we fall short of our intentions, then we are constantly living in a negative cycle and a self-punishing cycle. And so what that does then, of course, is it starts to question whether I've got what it takes to achieve what it is that I want to achieve or not. And so frustration is the second state. The third state, of course, is the state that everyone wants to be in, which is the state of fulfillment. It's when I allow the vision of what I want to motivate me to the point of me putting into action what I intend to do and what I need to do. And when I bring that action to that intention based upon a clarity of what I want to see happen, then I experience fulfillment. So of course, we all want to experience fulfillment, and I believe fulfillment is the state that we're designed to live in. In fact, frustration and confusion not only has an emotional impact, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure, and I hear reports of how anxiety and fear actually have a physiological impact, negative impact on our health. And so to me, even in the wiring of us as human beings, it gives us clues that we are not to struggle and strive after the results that we are chasing, but we're actually to find an alternative state. And it's a state that I talk about, which is a state of rest and release. So which one are you in right now? Do you feel like you're striving and struggling and what you're after is constantly out of reach because you're confused, you don't know what it is, or you're falling short of actioning your intentions? Or are you resting and releasing? In other words, you are in a position where you have clarity and you have boundaries and you have a plan, and so you're in the flow, you're in the rhythm of bringing to fulfillment the vision that you've got. You may not have seen it yet, but actually the journey is enjoyable. I believe that's where we all want to be and where we all need to be. And so this session is really about helping you to understand, as I've gone on this journey and constantly have to clarify where I am on this journey. I believe what I will do with you in this session will really help you. You see, as human beings, we carry treasure. There's an innate value in who you are. That's good news because, let's face it, we can all be hard on ourselves. We can all be tough on ourselves. You know, I have conversations with my children and it's heartbreaking when you hear somebody that you love being down on themselves because they feel that they're not good enough, or they're not able to do what they want to do, or they start to fear that there isn't a future for them. And it's heartbreaking because inside you know, wow, if only you could see what I could see. But actually, that's just a reflection of what goes on in most human beings, if not all human beings at some point. And so I guess the first thing I want you to do right now is to say out loud with me, I am valuable. I am valuable. You carry a treasure. Even though you look in the mirror and you can list 101 things that you'd change, you may see a clay jar, in other words, an exterior package that you would rather change, but you've got to believe, the starting point is believing that I carry something of value. I carry something of value. You see, what you believe about who you are is going to determine the contribution you bring to the world. Everything starts in life with an idea. Anybody who's contributed something that has been a benefit to you and I, it's been a legacy to this world, all started with an idea. So let me just list a few people that come to mind. The Wright brothers, they wondered one day, could we create the first flying machine? It started as an idea, a thought that came to them. I wonder if we can create a flying machine. J.K. Rowling, as a single mum living in a bedsit in Scotland, next to broke, relying upon benefits, asking herself the question, I wonder if anyone wants to read about a young boy called Harry Potter. Nelson Mandela, wondering to himself at a point in history, I wonder if apartheid could be broken. Rosa Parks, in America, back in the last century, asking herself, I've been asked to move out of my seat because of the colour of my skin. Maybe I should say something, or maybe I shouldn't. Those were all thoughts once upon a time. And thoughts, those words that are inside of us, they become an idea. And whether we say yes to the idea or no to the idea has a direct impact on the society that we create, on the world that we're impacting. Now, what's the common thread with all four of those people, or five of those people, including both of the brothers, the Wright brothers? It's because they said yes to their idea. They said yes. They believed that, yes, I am a person worth listening to. I am a person worth building an aircraft, believing one day it could fly. Yes, I am a person who could help break apartheid. Yes, I am a person worthy of challenging prejudice. In other words, whether they were conscious of it or not, there was enough self-worth and value for them to say yes to their idea rather than no. Now, here's a crazy thought. How many ideas have people put an no, not going to do that, haven't actioned it because they thought, I am not good enough. I am not the person to. I am not valuable. And so the first layer that we're going to build, and we're going to build 6 layers. And I want you to have ready that link that I've put in the comments for you going through these layers and for you looking specifically at yourself and finding the clues for your journey. The first layer is about who I am. And it's about starting each day when those thoughts come into our minds, starting each day saying, do you know what, today, this is who I am. Because who you decide to be today is going to determine the contribution that you bring. It's going to determine how you outwork your purpose. So you may say, well, Gareth, this session is called Know Your Purpose. Well, the precursor, the preface to knowing your purpose is knowing who you are. It's knowing your identity. So who am I? I said you're a treasure chest. You are a jar of clay with great treasure inside of you. What is that treasure? That treasure is values. They are values. Values are words, okay? Words that mean something to me. On your screen right now, you can see a whole list of words. And these words are there to provoke you to thinking. Out of these words, and it's not an exhaustive list, there are many words that you could choose from, which of these words do I connect with the most? Which of these words give me the most energy? Which words would I like people to use to describe me, even if right now I don't think that's how they would describe me? Which words start to describe your most meaningful experience? Now, here's what I want to do. As you're looking at the screen, you may want to press pause right now. Or you may want to come back to this later to do it properly. But I encourage you right now, even if you just grab several words off this list, and if you get more than 5, I'm going to encourage you to take it to 5. And there's no magical reason why it should be 5. It's just that seems to be a good number to work with that helps you to focus on the innate value that you carry, okay? So these are the words. There are other words you could add in, but they've got to be positive values, okay? Now, what's really important is understanding that the journey of purpose and you bringing your highest and best contribution to the world, making an impact, is a journey of personal transformation. We want to bring change to the world, but before we bring change to the world, that change is going to come through us. There's going to be a metamorphosis. There's going to be a caterpillar to a butterfly transition as we embrace the demand of the vision, as we embrace the picture of the future that we want to create. And so this personal transformation is about unlocking the best version of you. For me as a Christian, it's about unlocking the image of God in me. I believe that I've been created in the image of God. I believe all men and women have been created in the image of God. And it's about, okay, discerning, like, what is that design? What is it that I do every day that actually is a distortion of that image? And I need to really start to separate who I am from who I am not. You see, on your screen right now, you can see a picture of an apple and an orange. Now, if I was to take the seeds from the apple and to open up the orange and to put the seeds inside of the orange and to close it up, and I asked you, okay, here we've got an orange and inside there are apple seeds. How do we grow an apple tree? What would your answer be? Amazing when I've asked this question, and I've asked it a lot as I've taken people through this process. Some people are like straight away, they know the answer, and some people just can't get the answer. But as soon as I reveal the answer, people are like, oh yeah, it's actually quite simple. The way, of course, to grow an apple tree, if you've got an orange with apple seeds inside, without opening it up, is to plant the orange. In other words, by planting the orange, 2 things are going to take place. First of all, the orange is going to start to die. It's going to start to disintegrate. And as the orange disintegrates, the seed, the apple seed that's inside, is going to have opportunity to grow. In other words, it's the seed of the new inside the surrounding of the old, and the death of the old and the life of the new working together that is going to produce the results. Now, here's the amazing thing, and here's what I want to get to you. Because as human beings, we think like the result of me building a life of purpose and impact, of me having a transformative effect on this world, that I've got to somehow chase that. I've got to try and make that happen. No. Let me help you to understand. Just as my analogy, and there's a reason why I gave you that analogy, the result of producing change and impact in this world, like the apple seed, it's in you. And therefore, if it's in you, you don't have to strive and struggle to chase it. You just simply have to find a way of releasing that seed, releasing what is already in you. And it starts with you understanding who you are. So you've got a list of your values. These are your I am values. This is what I want every day you to say out loud. Today I am impact. Today I am innovation. Today I am identity. Today I am clarity. Today I am courage. You see, when you say that out loud, it starts to challenge the opposite. In other words, the I am nots. It starts to challenge the opposing part of you that is going to try to snuff out that idea. It's the opposing part of you, the default you, the one that constantly wants to remind you of your failures, wants to remind you of your mistakes, wants to remind you of who you are not, and to almost pull you back like a pulley that is on our back, trying to stop us moving forward. So one way in which we can do that is not by just simply empowering who I am, but also by saying, do you know what, today I am not. And on your screen right now, we have got the negative values, okay? The negative values. So I've put a picture of an orange on this screen because I'm using the orange and the apple as an image. The apple representing the new you, the seed that wants to come through and to release the impact in this world, and the orange, which represents the old you, that which is trying to stop and stop the future getting out and stop the seed from growing. And so here are some negative values. Now, once again, just like with the positive values, we all love all the values that are positive, and so sometimes it's difficult to kind of get it down to 5. And it's the same with the negative values. I mean, who wants to kind of have any of these as part of their daily conversation? But remember, this is about who I am not. So how do I start to choose 5 from the words that are on the screen? So which of these negative values reflects the person you do not want to be? Which is connected to your greatest fear? Which describes the greatest frustration you have with yourself? Which represents your most painful experience? Which do you blame people for the most? Which describes your most common put down? In other words, what you constantly say to yourself negatively. And which of these words represents what you go out of your way to avoid? Maybe a certain subject matter. As soon as you hear that subject matter, you start to avoid it. There are clues here as to identifying your greatest opponent. Your greatest opponent in life is not your boss. Your greatest opponent in life is not that family member who you just don't get on with. The greatest opponent in life is not the economy. It's not even a global pandemic. Your greatest opponent in life is the negative part of you, the default part that is constantly trying to stop the real you breaking through. So that's layer 1, okay? Layer 2, now this is getting closer to us understanding purpose. Layer 2 is about, okay, based on who I am, today I will, and this now is about understanding purpose. Now, let me draw a distinction. between purpose and destiny, because very often we can get the two mixed up. Sometimes when we talk about purpose, we're talking about what I get to do. We talk about a moment in time in the future when I'm going to be able to have a certain position, a certain role, a certain job, a certain career. Now, through our jobs, our careers, we get to outwork our purpose, but our purpose is different from destiny. Destiny is a destination point. It could represent a time when I will have a career in a certain field, or when I have a certain position and status. That could be part of our destiny, but purpose literally is a means to an end. It's the function that I have. Now, here's how I want you to understand purpose. You can outwork your purpose even in a job that you hate. Now, so right now, if you're in that place of confusion, you already are going to be able to start to see how this can take you from confusion to fulfillment. Because each day you have the ability to create in other people the feeling that you crave the most. Now, this is a clue to your purpose, okay? Now, let me take you first of all to the orange. Remember, we talked about the orange representing the old you. So, up on the screen right now, there are a list of feelings, okay? So, there are 6 feelings on the screen, and the statement says, people get the worst of me, people get the worst of Gareth, and you can put your own name in there, when I feel unsure and insecure about my future, unheard and unnoticed by others, unaccepted and I don't belong or fit in, that I've underachieved and I'm not making progress, that I'm unappreciated and don't add value, that I'm unneeded and underestimated. Now, as you look at that set of feelings, which one reflects you? And I've done this often enough now to know that at least one, and usually there's 2 that people identify, but really when it comes down to it, one leads to the other, okay? So there's usually a dominant feeling. And so you know that if I don't feel this, let me let you into a little secret, mine is underachieved. So if I don't feel that I've achieved throughout the day, I'm like the kind of person that is going shopping and I'm starving. You've done it. You've been shopping when you're starving. What happens when you go shopping when you're starving? Well, first of all, the quality of what you buy goes down. You buy rubbish. You buy all the quick snacks, the quick food, because you're thinking, as soon as I've paid for this, or even some of you don't even wait until you paid, you're eating it already and you're thinking you just hand over a packet, at the till. And so, you're just thinking, okay, what can I consume quickly? Let me get a whole load of that stuff. You're not thinking about planning meals and, a meal that takes a long time. And so the quantity of what you buy goes up, but the quality goes down. So think about that analogy. If I go into each day not understanding which of these feelings drives me, then all my actions each day are going to be driven by a need to feel achievement. So my contribution to the world is going to be very little, because essentially it's about me. It's about how my job, how my family, how my marriage, how my finances, how my interactions in the day can feed my soul. So my contribution, therefore, and my purpose is not outworked, because purpose is a means to an end. Purpose is serving, it's giving, it's not taking or being served. So understanding this is really important. Now, you may be saying, well, okay, how do I shift that, Gareth? How do I change it? If I know that I need to feel acceptance or I need to feel assurance, how do I change that? Is there hope for me? Well, yes, there is hope for you. Because coming on your screen right now is the apple. So this is the you, this is the person that you've been designed to be. So there's a reason why you naturally feel hungry for that particular appetite, is because, and I'll get this, that is the appetite you are called and you've been created and designed to fill in other people. So think about it this way. If I go into each day now mine's D, okay? I don't want to overemphasize mine because I don't want to skew kind of you looking at all 6 equally, and I want you to think for yourself which one is you, but I'm just going to be honest and open with you. But so mine's achieving. So naturally, my default every day is how can I feel achievement, feed achievement. But actually, if I go in each day, now this is why identity has to precede impact. In other words, that I have to first of all state who I am. Because if I don't empower the real me, the new me, then the old me is going to say, Gareth, you know, you are fear. And so therefore, you better go out and feel like you're achieving. You see, the old me will create the wrong driver. But if I say, today, I am impact. Today, I am clarity. So I am going to help others feel like they are achieving, that they are progressing, that they are growing. Do you know what happens? As I create that feeling in other people, I myself am fed. Now for me, again, let me say my Christian worldview believes that by operating from the correct identity, I have access to a grace. I have access to a spiritual and supernatural resource that is limitless and endless, and I can become a river and a conduit and a channel of that divine feeling. Now, you may say, oh, Gareth, that's complete nonsense, that's rubbish. Well, you're absolutely entitled to your opinion. But I think you'd agree with me that when you become a giver of a feeling and you create a feeling in other people, that you end up feeling it yourself. The teacher who helps others feel like they're progressing and growing ends up finishing the day feeling like they have achieved. As I have shown affection to others and I have shown care and support of others, I feel cared for. It's amazing. It's not rocket science, but yet we forget it each day. So the second layer is saying, today, I will help others. And then again, put in which one is your particular contribution. Can you see right now how you could be in a dead-end job in inverted commas, but because you're interacting with people, you can outwork your purpose today. You don't have to wait for a destination point in the future. Okay, yes, you have a destiny, but you can outwork your purpose today, anywhere, with anyone, at any time. So layer 3 is today I can help. Now there are 6 statements on the screen. And I'll explain right now why they all begin with RE. To release, to raise, to restore, to rebuild, to reclaim, to renew. You have the creative ability to innovate. And to innovate is not to create something out of nothing, because the reality is that everything that has been created, even if it's new, has started with something that is old. Innovation is not about something that is new, it's about doing new things with old things. Think about it. Even the MacBook that I've got in front of me now, and it's celebrated, you know, I think I watched the Apple event the other day, by such and such a day, everything is going to be carbon neutral, fully recycled. In other words, they can create new products, the products in the future that are going to defy, you know, what we thought was possible, but they're using old materials. So innovation is to take back to a previous form. So everything new comes from something that is old. So inside of you, there is a mindset, and I believe each of us can resonate with one of these. You're looking at them on the screen right now. To release. There's something inside of you that wants to help free people from what holds them back. To raise up. In other words, there's a part of you that longs to lift up those who are down. To restore, to bring people back to where they should be. To rebuild, new from the old. To reclaim, in other words, to help return the value that has been lost. Or to renew, to help invest, to bring a new lease of life. Now, I know there are some overlaps here, and I know you can go between maybe 2 or 3, but what we're looking for are distinct words. Words resonate with us, okay? Words resonate with us because everything is created from words. So anything you create in the future is going to be on the basis of words. even the computer programs that we use, even the fact that you're watching this now through YouTube. YouTube is a program based upon coding, based upon wording that creates what you're seeing. So everything in its basic form starts with words. So the words that you enter into each day with, in your creative mindset, today I'm going to restore. Today I'm going to reclaim. Today I'm going to renew. I can do this. Now you may not know exactly how that's going to outwork, but when you go in with a mindset, trust me, the opportunities will meet the mindset, okay? But you can see, you've got to go in based upon the understanding of the feeling that you're going to help create in others and who you are. If you get those two wrong, then essentially you'll build around what you want and you will not outwork your greatest contribution. Layer 4. Today I have an idea. And this is about us starting to get the seed form of the future result that we carry. It's adding this layer. Okay, today I have a solution to a problem I've experienced. Today I have a way to help alleviate pain in people. Today I have a way to bring people in from the margins. Today I have a product that improves people's lives. Today I have a service to make life easier. Today I have a project that centers on caring for people. Again, this is about steering you. It's not you can define what's in you the best way because you know you the best. But this is about helping you starting to look for clues. You know, which of these best describes, may not exactly describe, but best describes what I feel that I'm carrying. Now again, as with all of these, sometimes you can look and think, I think maybe it's a project, but then actually the project is based upon like a community I'm trying to serve, and really at the heart of the community is a problem that I'm solving. Again, go on a journey and try and get to the bedrock. In other words, what is the core thing? It may spill over into some of the other answers, but what is the dominant thing? What is the first domino that's going to knock over the others, as it were, okay? So which of these describes the idea that you carry the best? And let me just challenge you for a moment, because I believe that there is an idea inside every human being that we are ashamed to almost vocalize. We're almost embarrassed to admit to, because for fear of what people may say, what people may think about how we would be rejected for suggesting such a ludicrous idea. And again, I'm here to say there's more in you. I want to dig deeper. I want to ask the question that's going to pull out the real idea. Not just the idea you think you should have, that others think you should have, okay? But to discern what is that idea that you carry. So be brave enough to put the one that truly reflects what you're carrying. And then layer 5, so we're layering it up. Today, I am going to create a change in this area of society. Because remember, it's all about taking the idea that you carry in you, based upon your identity and your impact, and to bring it through to influence. In other words, influence is having a shaping effect on culture. And culture is made up in any society of the several areas that you can see on the screen right now. Every society, regardless of where you'll find it on the globe, has business, education, family, health, faith, government, media and the arts, entertainment and sport. Which area is the place of impact where your idea needs to land? Again, it could spill out over into other areas, but where does it need to land? In other words, where's the change going to begin? Okay, because you know it may start in business, but you may end up being involved in setting policy in government. But really, unless you go into the business first, then that's the proving ground. So can you see one comes before the other? So this is about understand, and let me just emphasize here, when it comes to the word family, And whenever we use the word family throughout this process, you know, of course, we all want to impact our families. So we'd all put that naturally because they matter to us. But when we talk about family, we're talking about wider than just your family. We're talking about the whole arena of families, okay? So just to put that clarification there. So which area of society is your impact going to land? Okay, this is about where your influence is going to start to grow. You're going to become the go-to person in that area, or part of the go-to group, if you start to partner with others and become part of a team, okay? And then we're coming to layer 6, the final layer, the most exciting layer, I think, for me. I mean, all of them are exciting and necessary, but the reason why it's exciting, because I think this is probably the one thing that the people do the least. Very few people think about doing this or even dare to do this. But you know what? This final layer is absolutely critical. I'll explain why. Because as you can see, layer 6 is today I must, not should, not want, must bring the best version of me. The real version of me. The apple and not the orange. The new and not the old. The design and not the default. Today I must bring the best version of me because, and now what I want you to do is to put a date and a number. Okay, in other words, the number of people you want to have helped by a certain date. Now, what do you mean by this, Gareth, and why is this critical? Unless we start to put faces on the vision, unless we can start to imagine the people's lives who are going to be impacted and influenced as a result of our transformative journey, then we don't create a strong enough demand to follow through, to action our intentions, to get out of that place of frustration. Very often we're in a place of frustration, failing to act on our intentions because we don't have a strong enough reason. And you are not a strong enough reason to get you moving. As human beings, it's the sacrifice for the benefit of others that will get you to go further, harder, longer, more often than doing it for yourself. You know that. You would run outside of the building that you're in right now if you had the ability to help somebody who was having a heart attack to start to apply the various techniques of helping them to breathe and resuscitation. You wouldn't be thinking about how you looked or how you were dressed or what other people are going to think of you for getting involved. Why? Because it is mission critical. It isn't a play that you're playing at and a part in a theatre production. Oh, I wish I got to play this part, or maybe I'm not good enough. Do you know what? When you start to realise life is mission critical, when you understand your impact, you start to push past fear. And when you put a date and a number on the amount of people that you're going to help, a number that you may say, right, well, in 10 years, I'm going to have helped 10,000 people or 10,000 families, or set up 50 orphanages, or built 20 businesses that are going to employ 5,000 people. In one sense, the exact number isn't the issue, and whether you hit that number or not isn't the issue. It's about creating an inspiring demand where you realize, wow, and these people that I believe I'm going to help are counting on me. And not only the number of people, but time is ticking. Time is ticking. And 10 years from now, if I want to help X amount of people, then in the next year, how many people do I want to help? Can you see, all of a sudden, by putting a date and a number, it takes us into a place of clear certainty and faith. Okay? So I want you to put that down as your final layer. And of course, what we end up with is this: 6 parts of a daily conversation to help you unlock your purpose, realizing that the results are in me, but I've got to create the environment that says, today I am, and state your values. And today I am not, and to state who you're leaving behind, the old you. Today I will help others feel and put the appetite that you are going to satisfy in other people. Today I can help to release, rebuild, renew, okay? The mindset that you're going to adopt. Today I have an idea to create a community, put together a product, a project, whatever that may be, alleviate a pain. Number 5, today I am creating change in business, education, families, sport, media, arts. Number 6, today I must bring the best version of me, because the 10,000 people, or whatever number of people you have, in year 2025, 2022, 2030, are counting on me. Listen, I hope that this brief journey has been helpful. I hope it's given you lots to think about. I want to invite you to be part of the Winning University. This is a program that is going to give you an environment to unpack and journey what we've been discussing and discovering. It's going to allow you to be around other people who carry an aspiration to bring the best version of themselves to a world that needs change. And that change is in you. We have a track running right now that is a faith track. It's a track based upon the Christian faith. And again, it's not exclusive. If you're not a Christian, you're very welcome to be part of that. A track will be starting soon, which enables anybody with a neutral outlook to come into an environment. And we'll look at the principles. They'll be from the source of the Bible. I've not hidden that. That is where the source is, but it's a neutral environment. And I, day in, day out, operate in faith environments and faith neutral environments. Okay? But this is inclusive. Be part of the journey. Just let someone come in and help you. And if that's me, I'd love to help you. But let's go on the journey. You were designed to win and to help others win too.